For the most part, they are pretty fun events to go. You'll get to experience one if you go to all this said. Okay. So here, these are the different manifestations of balls over the years and up to leading up to what we kind of tend to call them house/Vogue balls. But Masquarades, like Marie Antoinette, used to throw lavish balls and throw out diamonds to the winners of the competition. But basically, it's like dressing up and disguising yourself. Assemblies, that is a term that the African American community used to use for like in the 20s for their gatherings. Cotillions and debutante balls, those are from an English tradition of introducing your eligible daughter when she turns 16 into society and hopefully getting her matched up with the proper suitor. It had to be somebody who matched in background as far as financial and keep the bloodline intact. Usually keeping things in like a small circle. You couldn't just marry anybody.
And that's still really big.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, the cotillion, that's kind of what they call those debutante balls in the South. They call them cotillions. And actually, cotillions actually started off as a dance, and the cotillion became like a place where the dance was practiced. Then we have drag balls, which, drag has had some presence at balls since Masquerade. Basically what is drag if it's not costume anyway. And then leads up to what we now have as house and Vogue balls. The significance, again, of balls are, they're very important as far as gay life is concerned. They're racially integrated during times of imposed color lines. Sometimes, like in the earlier days, you could get, your business could get shut down for allowing the races to mix and mingle. So even though during those times you still had a place where, of course, the black gays could come together and white gays escaping their rigid social, thank you, could escape, and so you had a mingling of, and it was one of the few places that you had this mixture, and it was sanctioned, but of course they had to get permits and things. And they only happened around certain times of the year. And also, too, because gays and African Americans often experience similar types of discrimination. So they can identify on that part. The primary means of gathering in community, okay, during oppressive times, I talked about that. Another thing, too, sometimes major cities would have like a big event coming up, like the World's Fair or whatever. They would tend to clean house, and they would sweep all the vice of the city into one area, to try to protect their visitors, which in fact, they were really just making it easier for people to find vice if they were looking for it. And so out of that, you get, okay, I'll get to the connection of that, but just remember that, hold on a second, I'm sorry. Well, anyway, so like major cities cleaning house and scooping all their undesirables into one area, and that led to some forms of types of balls too. Also remember too that at certain times in history, cross-dressing was against the law. You could be put in jail if you were not dressed according to your gender. And as a matter of fact, the only times that you could do it would be at a ball, which would happen only like in Chicago, the times would be Halloween and New Year's, I believe. And maybe like in New York, I think Thanksgiving was a big weekend for them, those kind of times. But this is the only time that this would be sanctioned by the city. The city would allow the space for it to happen. Excuse me for my but anyway, one big influence on balls we have today is